Awesome. Hello everybody and welcome back to my Twitch stream paint along, and I'm really excited to be back today. I am working on a new piece, as you can see, inspired by one of my all-time favorite and maybe first muses actually, Wednesday Addams from the 1990s movie version starring Christina Ricci. And I think you might call this my first cosplay that I ever did. I was 8 years old and I was obsessed with Wednesday, and I was a weird little wannabe goth child, and it was one of the first costumes I insisted that my mom make for me. So she kind of has a special place in my heart. And yeah, so I'm super excited to finally do a painting of her. Some of you guys might remember that I did a little ACO of her like last year, I think. And I never got around to doing this painting, and I actually had the sketch ready and it just like flew by and I didn't have time. So I'm trying to do it today. It was actually for the Bad Apple auction that started today, but I'm running a little bit behind this month. Some of you guys may know I've been at Disney's Wonderground Gallery twice this month, and I had to prep about 1,500 prints for them, and I had to travel to LA 2 times this month, and I had another piece, and it's been a little crazy, but I'm super excited to be here. Hey, oh my gosh. Hey, John Grimm. Oh my God, it's been a long time. Wow, that's nuts. I think you're one of the first people that I chatted with via YouTube. John Grimm is also an amazing YouTube artist, and that is really a blast from the past. So good to see you here. Let's see, I've also got with me so far Toby Toki? Wait, I can't read. I'm too far. Toki. Hi, Toki. And Midnight Doll. Hello, welcome back, Midnight Doll. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. So, anyways, I've got this piece started, and I, because I'm a crazy person, I decided that I wanted to do a lot of tiny details. This is my little composite here, my little photo reference composite, and I want to do this like gate design. So you might remember in the actual show or the film, the gate in front of their house is actually like a character, and I love that, and I love kind of these intricate designs. And I'm also using this as sort of like a trellis for these roses here. So I have my work cut out for me to actually hand draw all of these in acrylic paint on my painting. And today I'm going to be using a magnificent little tool that I love called a Montana paint marker. And I actually fill these myself with golden fluid acrylics and a little bit of airbrush transparent extender, and these things are amazing. And basically you can draw with acrylic paint like it's a pen, and it saves me a lot of time and struggle that I would try to do with a paintbrush, because it's basically impossible. So these come in different thicknesses. Here's an empty one that I haven't used yet, and this is like a thick tip felt pen kind of. And so you would remove this and put your paint inside it. It's got a little mixing ball like a spray can, and you can actually draw with these. And then this one I'm going to be using today has a little very fine tip, and I love these things. They're magnificent, and it's one of my favorite tools that I've ever discovered, quite possibly. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be chatting with you guys and doing my busy work and doing my detailing. I have, her face is kind of coming along. I'm being like really a perfectionist and stickler about, I don't usually like do likenesses that much, but in this particular case, I really want her to come through, and I really want her attitude to come through, and that great little scowly pout that she has. And so this one's a little bit more specific than I usually do. Usually it's just like a face I made out of my head, or like loosely based on something. So I'm probably gonna finish this piece with tightening up that expression in her face, but I kind of have it, I see it there. I do see it coming through, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, so let me put up this wild wig of hair I have. I need my bangs cut. I can barely see through these. But since I don't really want to get paint in my hair today, all right, so I'm going to jump in here and get to work. And I think I have some questions from a previous paint along. So I'm going to try to double up and do this as a paint along as well. And my first trial run of a Twitch went pretty good. I think a few people who watched it after the fact were like, it's a little bit confusing to when I'm just responding to the chat. So today I'm going to try and read what you guys are saying so that people who watch this after the fact can still kind of like participate and know what we're talking about. So, yeah. All right, so first I have a question. I'm going to answer. And this was on my YouTube, and it came from Shani O. And she says, I think she's a she, "You're so great at picking colors. I'm still struggling with picking them. And do you have any tips on how to pick color combinations that work well together?" I do, actually. And this is something that I teach in my online class, as some of you guys know. Color palettes and color theory is a super big important part of art, and as many of you know, it's often an entire class in art school. So there's a lot of different techniques and things you can use. I think I have this handy here, so I'll show you this. But a great tool is one of these little color wheels, and I got this one on Amazon. This is the Creative Color Wheel by the Color Wheel Company, and I love this. This is the one I recommend that my students buy because it has this great little feature where you can actually turn this, and it allows you to actually create color schemes. So you can create analogous schemes, which would be colors that are next to each other. You can use these arrows here in the middle that actually show you where the complementary color is and where the split complement is. So if you actually go right by this, if you use these two, you're going to have a nice complementary color scheme. And if you use these two, you're going to have a nice split complement with this pure orange here. So these will they just naturally work well together. So if you use this wheel as a guide, it's going to make a pretty pleasing color scheme because that's just how it works. This is also great because this has the tints on one side and the shades on the other side. So if you want to work in a darker color palette, it works the same way on this side. The other thing that I teach in my class is a technique where you actually borrow a color palette from an existing work of art. And you can take an existing painting and you can actually use Photoshop, or you could do it with mixing paint right from your computer or from your phone. And you actually use the eyedropper tool, or if you're going to do it freehand with your eye, actually make a little palette from an existing artwork. And it's totally fine to steal color palettes from other artwork. I do it all the time. Sometimes I find a piece that I really love the mood, and I decide that I want to steal that for my own painting. So that's a really good technique too, is do some art research and actually work from existing colors. Let's see. Fruge Master says, "Whoa, what's the name again?" This is the Creative Color Wheel made by the Color Wheel Company, and I did buy this on Amazon. So there's a great tool. Hopefully that helps you, Shani. Let me know. Put it to work. All right. Anyway. So I'm going to jump back in here with my Montana acrylic pen that I'm using, and I'm going to hopefully get some work done, and I won't be chatting too much, but I will check the chat window as we move along and try to answer any questions that you guys have too. Now I kind of painted over some of my line work, so hopefully I'll be able to fish this out again. Can you guys see? Okay, we're good. Oh, Midnight Doll says, "Leilani, are you going to do Inktober again this year?" I'm not sure yet. It's something that I would definitely like to do, but I, to be honest, am like swamped at the moment. I'm in like 3 shows before the end of the year, and I haven't started some of the paintings yet, and I really want to get to work on my next class. I have stuff to do with my current class, so I'm not sure. It's one of those things. I might do a few of them. I'm fairly like 90% sure there's no way I can do every single day of October. It's just too much right now, and I just got back from a big event, and I just have a lot of catching up to do. So I don't know. Are any of you guys going to do Inktober this year? I can't. Oh, sorry. Creatures from Starlight. I couldn't tell that was you because I couldn't read your name. It's like in fluorescent green. You're going to do all 31 days? Oh my goodness. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see what you do. I hope you're feeling better. I know Creatures from Starlight is my dear friend, and she was going to come and visit me at Wonderground, but she was sick this weekend. She says, how was the last weekend at Disney? It was great. It was a really great weekend. I was super busy, and it actually wasn't 100 degrees, which was awesome. Some of you guys, I think I told you, but the first weekend I was at Wonderground Gallery, it was like over 100 degrees in Anaheim, which is very rare, and it was very uncomfortable, and there actually just wasn't a lot of people in the park because it was so ridiculously hot. So it was a little bit of a slow weekend, and I don't blame any of you who weren't able to come out and see me because it was ridiculously disgusting. But yeah, this weekend was a lot better. I had some really amazing people come out and see me, and it's just always such a blast. And I want to give, if she watches this, I want to give a special thank you and shout out to Kaylee and her mom, who came very far to come and see me at Wonderground, and it was so awesome meeting you guys. It was such a pleasure. So thank you so much. Everybody that I met too, and everybody who came back again. It's just always an honor and a pleasure to chat with you guys and meet you in person. So thank you for that. If anybody who saw me at Wonderground is watching this today. But anyway, going back to Inktober, I'll see. I'll let you guys know. I'll try to do a few. I really will, because I really love working with ink. I just, to be honest with you guys, I've just been a little bit burnt out. I'm like hitting that like maximum overdrive like at the moment. It's been non-stop ever since I had to prepare for my Disney gig, and it was just weeks and weeks of planning and mounting prints and bending over, and then we drove to LA one time, and it takes like 10 hours in traffic, and it was hot and awful, and then by the time I got home I had to go back down there again, and so I've just been kind of trying to catch up with orders and some of like business stuff that I have to do, and it's just been a little bit nuts. So yeah, so hopefully we'll see how this goes. I am having fun with this piece. I had to like start this really fast because I didn't get home till Monday. Today's Wednesday, and the Halloween auction is actually going on right now as we speak on the Bad Apple page, and it's so I'm a little bit overdue with this one, but it is what it is. I'm going to try to get it done hopefully by tomorrow, but we'll just have to see. I'm going a little bit slow today, but I figure since I have to do kind of a lot of detail work on this, I might as well chat with you guys while I do it. Okay, alright, I think I can see that now. I did like a little bit of this like watercolory effect on the side, and I lost some of my line work, so I'm just trying to make sure I kind of block it in before I start with the pen, because I lost it a little bit. This actually turned out really cool though. I wanted just like a little bit of a smoky, like foggy effect on the side, and so I just started like randomly painting in a little bit of a darker gray, and then I actually used my spray bottle and I sprayed the acrylic with it, and then I just left it alone and let it dry, and it did these really cool like you can see the effect, almost like watercolor, and I don't know, I'm super happy. It was kind of a happy accident, but I like how it turned out. Okay, so I might have missed a couple of things. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like a few of you guys are going to do Inktober, which is awesome. So hopefully maybe I'll see some of them on your Instagram. Yeah, John Grimm says, I'll do a couple of the days, but I think there's no way I'm going to do all the days. Same. I've tried before, and I think I've gotten maybe like 10 days in, but then like something comes up. It's just super hard to do it every day because there's just like life happens, right? Or you have something you have to go do on Saturday or something. So it's really hard. Creatures from Starlight says she's feeling better. I'm so glad. Creatures from Starlight, did you get to go to to Disneyland? Yes, I did. How'd you like the Halloween decor? It was awesome. So right now it is Halloween time at Disneyland, and it is freaking awesome. I didn't go to the Halloween party. They had like an extra thing where you had to buy a ticket for it. But I saw a lot of the little kids in their costumes and stuff, and that was pretty adorable. So I got a big kick out of it. They have like pumpkins everywhere, and they have like Nightmare Before Christmas is in full swing. And I went on, so if you guys don't know about this, during Halloween time, they convert the Haunted Mansion to Nightmare Before Christmas. And that was really, really, really cool. I geeked out at that pretty hard. We actually got pretty lucky. We got in the park really early, like right when it opened. And so we ran right over to the Haunted Mansion, and we only waited like 20 minutes. So that was good because that line got crazy. This weekend was really busy. So there was like, the lines were really, really long, which was good for me at my signing because there was a lot of people in the park that came by. But then, like, when I was at Disneyland, I was like, hey, everybody leave, get out of here. Okay, get my pen working here. I think I have a plan. I'm a bit afraid, as you guys can see. I'm hesitating. Luckily, though, the good thing about this technique I'm doing is it is still acrylic paint. It's not like a Sharpie or something. So if I really do screw up, right, I mean, it's better the quicker you do it. If I mess up, I can still wipe it off with water and like a Q-tip or something. So it's not even quite as permanent as like inking, which I really like, especially on this surface, which is a smooth panel. If you use this on paper or something, obviously you're not going to take it off, but it is a nice little perk. And I am doing this freehand because I could use a ruler, but I risk smearing my line work with the ruler. This ruler, I like these. If any of you guys are inkers or comic people, you probably know that some rulers have like this cork on the back, which lifts the ruler up off the surface a little bit. And that does work better. If I need to make a line, I will use this because there's a little buffer between the ruler and my surface, and that helps from getting your ruler to smear your ink. There's another trick I used when I was into making manga, that you can take a ruler and tape a penny to it, like tape a penny or a coin on the back, and it'll just float your ruler just a little bit. So, I mean, if you're using a really long ruler, you might want to use a few coins to lift it up. But it kind of helps you keeps your ruler from smearing your ink. Anyway, that's a little tip for you. Okay. All right. I was going to spill my water. Cool. So, something funny about this piece, actually, and probably some of you guys can relate to this. I had designed it last year because I was going to try and do it last year. And I was fretting around with my little composite, this here, and I was like trying to place things around, and I had a pose and everything. And my husband, who's also an artist, and no offense to him, he walked in and he did the thing where he looks over your shoulder to see what you're working on, right? And he kind of like made he had like a slight reaction, and he was like, yeah, he's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know about this. I don't know about that. And like, he kind of like unknowingly like made me second guess myself. I don't know. I know he was trying to help me, but like, I'm like one of those people that like, if I'm not ready for critique, I'm not ready for critique. Okay. So like I kind of thought I I liked where it was going. Anyways, he just kind of like threw me off, and he's like, well, I don't know. He's like, I just don't feel like that works, or blah, whatever. And so I got all like flustered by it, and I was like, well, what do you mean you don't like it? And he's like, I don't know if that, like, he's like, I don't know about the gate and the floor, and he thought I was getting like a little bit too much, but whatever, I like it. So anyways, I actually abandoned it because I just like lost confidence just because I didn't feel like he really saw my vision. And I did a different piece instead. I did that Grand High Witch painting. And then this year I decided to come back to it, and I looked at it again. I'm like, I still like that. And then he saw me working on it last night. He's like, that looks awesome. I'm like, okay, well, last year you didn't like it, and you had like a lot to say. So this year he's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even remember that. And I'm like, oh my God, of course not. So it's really funny how, you know, it's always great to have a second opinion, but at the same time, go with your gut sometimes. Like, trust your natural instincts. Because I think this is actually going to be really awesome, and I actually like my design instincts on it. And I don't know why he just, like, for whatever reason, his initial reaction made me second guess it. And I'm glad I kept it and I didn't throw away the comp, because when I came back to it, I was like, yeah, you know what? I still like that. So I had a whole year to marinate on it, and now I've decided to move forward with it. So I don't know. It's so hard, right? It's like one little comment can like just make you come down like a Jenga game, yeah. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So looks like, okay, you guys are still chatting about Inktober. So, hi Dana. Dana's here again. Good to see you. So, Dana was saying that there is, so if you guys are interested in doing Inktober, there is like a standard prompt list. So I forget, can somebody chime in on this? There's a guy who like started Inktober. I'm blanking on his name. I'm a terrible artist person. But I think he has like a prompt list. So like day 1, you do, this is your prompt. Day 2, you do this. Some people do the prompts. Some people totally do their own thing. I think anything is acceptable. Sometimes I kind of like a prompt because I'm like, you know, I can't waste a lot of time just being like, I don't know what to do, you know? So I think it's kind of fun, even if you do something really kind of interpretive or abstract from the prompt. Then there's also, of course, the lovely Mab Graves does her Drawloween about the same time. So you could combine Inktober and Mab Graves' Drawloween. If you don't know about Mab Graves' Drawloween, you can check it out on Instagram. I think that's actually the hashtag. I think it's Mab Graves' Drawloween. Anyways, it's cool, and she does it along with everybody, and she makes like a little Halloween poster out of all the drawings. So it's pretty cool. I kind of wanted to do that, but like I said, I just have like I hate it. This is like one of the flaws of doing art as a job, right? Is like I have very little time to do like fun time art. I mean, it still can be part of, you know, my professionalism, because I usually sell my Inktober drawings, but it's hard when I have a lot of commitments I've made, because I'm a crazy person, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds great, I can do that, I'd love to do that, I'd love to do that show, I'd love to do that commission, and I'm like, I have no time, what am I doing? I have to sleep, I have to eat at some point, I have to play video games at some point. I really miss them. I haven't gotten to play in a while. The one I want to start is Witcher. Does anybody play that? Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt. We bought it. My husband has it, and I've been watching him play, and I've been jealously drooling over it because it looks really fun. And so before things got like all crazy with work stuff, I recently finished Mass Effect Andromeda. And let's just say that it left something to be desired. So now I'm looking for another game to play. Yeah. Okay, great. I'm glad you guys are like following each other and making friends on the chat. Hello, Coffee and Clouds. Welcome. If I didn't say hello to you before, I'm glad you're here. Jake Parker. Thank you, Dana. I know I can count on you, girl. Jake Parker is the guy that started Inktober, or is sort of like known for starting it. So I think he has, if you look him up, if you look up Jake Parker Inktober, you can find the prompts for that if you want to get in on that. Okay, and she also adds, Art Snacks has partnered with Jake Parker this year for Inktober, and they have a themed box. Awesome. If you guys know about Art Snacks, you might want to check that out. It's like a little subscription-based thing where they send you like art supplies, I think. And Creatures from Starlight says, there's many prompts. There's Witchtober, there's a different Drawloween, there's Drawtober. Awesome. So whatever speaks to you guys, if you need to get inspired in October, there's like a million things to get you going. So I don't want to hear any complaining about I don't know what to draw, because there's a lot to draw. Oh, hey John. So John Grimm says, I almost beat but never finished Witcher. It's a great game. I'm looking forward to Monster Hunter World. I'm not familiar with that. I'm going to build a time machine just to get it now instead of waiting till 2018. I would like, if you finish that time machine, can you let me know? Because there's a few things I could use it for. There's still that like one time in high school where I said the stupidest thing to the guy I liked, and I would like to undo that. Try that one again. I'd also like to go back in time to the people who wrote the Mass Effect 3 ending and provide them with a new ending and bribe them to do my ending. I would use the time machine for a lot of different things. I also was thinking about this the other day. Does anybody watch Rick and Morty? I recently got into Rick and Morty, and it's freaking hilarious. It took me a minute to like get into it, but now I really like it. And I was thinking the other day, there's that episode where they just like pause time for like 6 months. And they just do whatever they want, and life is just, like, on hold until they're done. And I was like, oh, man, I would really like that ability. Like, can I just pause everything and, like, just do whatever I want until I get tired of it, and then, you know, life can just, like, resume? Because I'm like, that would really be useful. As long as I don't age, though. Because I don't want to, like, constantly be getting older than everybody. Well, I don't know. That still might be worth it, though. That might be worth it. Oh, hello! Oh my goodness. I've got some new people. Oh my gosh, awesome. My friend is here, Sandra. Hello, how are you? I can't believe you figured out how to use Twitch, eh? Is this your first time ever watching Twitch? She says, she says, I literally say, because I'm a crazy person, every morning regarding my overly ambitious projects and that I decide would be a good idea. Yes, totally. Hello. Well, this is awesome. I'm so glad you're here, because we haven't caught up in a while, because I'm a crazy person and I'm taking on too much work, and I'm trying to combine it with shooting a new video, and this is I probably should just be working because I'd be going a lot faster, but instead I'm having fun and talking with all of you guys. Okay, so I'm going to try to concentrate more. You guys are going to have to entertain yourselves. Okay. I do have to concentrate ever so slightly because I'm basically trying to make straight lines freehand, which is a little bit, I think it'll be okay. Hey, crazy. Another one of my people, somebody that I follow on Twitch is now live too. I follow this guy named Dark Vitrium, and he makes stained glass sculptures, and it's so much fun to watch. And he's like a total nerd, and he's into gaming and stuff, so he's a Twitcher, the Witcher Twitcher that I follow. It's cool. And I also follow, I don't follow that many people on Twitch because I haven't, like, had time to, like, delve into it too much. But I also, I'm a huge fan of GamerMD. She's a game blogger on YouTube, and I was in on one of her live streams recently, and it was super cool because she's like, oh, hey, she's like, hi, and she was, like, talking to me, and she was like, oh, I know your art. I'm like, okay, that's just weird, because it's weird when, like, you're, like, a fan of someone, and you've watched them for a while, and they're like, oh, I know who you are, I think I follow your channel. I'm like, oh, crazy, so that was kind of surreal. Creatures from Starlight says, I saw someone posting about tarot cards as an Inktober prompt. Ah, that would be awesome. That's a cool idea. I was telling Creatures from Starlight that she should get into tarot cards, because I really have a great time. I really enjoy getting into them, And especially, I've been working with 78 Tarot. I'm doing it again this year, so I'm really excited. Another thing I've signed up for, which I have no time for. I'm going to be doing another card with them this year, and I got a big card, so I'm really excited. I guess they trust me now to do one of the really important cards, so I'm excited. It's been a really fun thing, and it's gotten me kind of into tarot. I know I've talked about this before. I would love to do a full deck of tarot, but I honestly, like, it's such a huge undertaking because it's 78 cards, you know, plus packaging and all that stuff. And I just, someday, oh God, if only I had a clone. Clones would be good. Hello, Ashley. A Picasso Designs is here. She's also a friend of mine. I saw her at Wonderground this weekend. It was so good to see you. It was like a blast from the past. We went to art school together, so that was really cool to catch up and see her, because it's been a long time, and we're not going to say how long it's been, right? let's not add any time to that now. Yeah. Okay, so, John Grimm says, no joke, if I may, I think Twitch is 100 times better than YouTube for art. The art community here is crazy awesome. Awesome! I am glad to hear that. So you've been doing well here. Have you been on Twitch for a while? This is like my third stream, so I am a complete noob, basically. Do people still say noob, or is that like, you know, an early 2000s thing? I feel like I'm always like dating myself. I asked someone who asked me a question recently, said like, if you could design a bay for your favorite game character or something, and I was like, what's a bay again? What's that mean? I was like, is that your like a boyfriend, girlfriend? It's just like, I guess, a term of endearment, or like your significant other. But I was still like, I just don't feel comfortable saying it. Yeah, so Sandra says, I'm just going to say that because otherwise it's hard to say your whole name. I'm actually surprised that this is the first Wednesday Addams painting you've done. I am too, and I should move it back over here. I don't know why. It's one of those things that just kept like slipping away from me. I did like a little art card of her last year, and it like got more bids than most of my paintings do, so I really should have learned then. I don't know. It was one of those things. It's, you know, it's a character that I'm so attached to, like, that I didn't want to mess it up, if that makes sense. So I feel like I've put off certain subject matters because I'm like, I'm not ready. I don't want to do a painting that I don't like, you know. That's, like, one of the ones I've wanted to do for a long time is a Frida Kahlo inspired painting. And I mean, I just haven't really had time, but I also am just like, I really want to make sure I do that justice. So I feel like I have put off certain things until I feel like I could do a good job on them. I don't know if that's even true, but it kind of feels like that sometimes. I guess I'm getting more confidence now, which is always a good thing. Okay, hopefully this is looking a little even. I mean, I never feel like in something like this it has to be super perfect, because it kind of adds like a nice like creepy factor when things aren't like super perfect. You know what I mean? Like if you guys have ever seen like Tim Burton's drawings or something, they always have this cool like weirdness to them. The lines aren't straight, they're not made with rulers, things like that. But I think I can fake this a little bit. How's that looking? The other thing like, this looks like a little bit weird, but the side one's a little bit thicker, but it's going to be partially behind the edge of a frame, so you're not going to see the full amount there. Yeah, so Midnight Doll says, YouTube has been pretty sucky for a lot of content makers. I don't know if any artist has yet to be hit, though, on here. Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, I've been having a little bit of a struggle myself about that, because my subscription numbers are actually going down for the first time ever. And I'm like, what is happening? And I know that they have been like clearing out old accounts, and from time to time they just delete like users that aren't active or whatever. But still, I feel like that wouldn't have like a huge effect on my numbers, because I'm like, well, I must still be getting new subscriptions too. But it's just been a little bit frustrating, because I'm like, oh my gosh, my numbers are worse than last year, or maybe even the year before. So I'm not sure why that is. I mean, if any of you guys have thoughts on that, I haven't looked into it too much, but I know that a lot of, not just artists, but other content creators have said this, and I don't know if that's just because they're pushing bigger channels that make more money, or I'm not sure. I don't know if they're going to move us more towards a Facebook thing where they want you to actually promote your videos or pay to get them seen. I feel like it's only a matter of time before there's always money involved. You know, it's like kind of annoying that everything goes that way. My Facebook page gets like no traffic at all now, and it's frustrating because I have like probably like 20,000 fans over there that I built over years now. And I used to have really great interaction on Facebook, and that was where I primarily interacted with customers and fans, and got conversations going and updates. And now I'm like, nobody even sees my posts over there. So it's kind of disheartening when it's like, well, okay, I've got to adapt again and change. And Instagram was real good for me for a while, but I'm seeing a bit of that too, just plateauing a little bit. I'm not really getting as many followers and things, but I mean, I am very lucky that I feel like I have long-term fans, like, a lot of you guys that are here have been with me for a long time, and so I kind of feel like that I have like quality over quantity, so to speak, because I do see some people on Instagram that it's actually interesting, because they get tons of likes on a post, but then they don't have like followers. So I'm like, so is it just people that like drop by and like, oh, that's cool, but then they don't actually commit to following their work? So I don't know, it's kind of a strange phenomenon. I got to do a little bit more research, because like I said, I kind of wanted to teach some of this in my upcoming class, but it just keeps changing and evolving all around me, and it's different for me than it was for you guys, because I started basically YouTubing in 2009, so I wasn't actually like, I mean, like I found John Grimm's work, I found a few other artist YouTubers, but there wasn't a lot of them. There wasn't a lot of people painting on there, because it was harder to get the proper equipment and things like that. Now it's like your phone can stream and take video that's looks great online, and back then it was a little bit less accessible for people, so there was just a little less competition, and I kind of got a lot of views quickly, which was kind of unexpected. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, okay, well, whatever, let's see what happens. But now I find it harder, because pretty much like a lot of people, anybody can just start a YouTube channel, and a lot of people have YouTube channels that are far better artists than myself, so it's harder to kind of stay relevant, I guess. So yeah, so let me catch up with you guys in the chat. I probably missed something. Okay, so John says, I've been doing Twitch for 2 years now, and it's been more beneficial. Oh, sorry. Clicked off. It's been more beneficial and productive than YouTube, despite doing YouTube for longer. It's also a lot less work, and for more fun, for more turnaround, so it's a win-win. Cool. That's really, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to experiment more with it and see how it goes, because it is kind of a fun add-on to what I have been doing and already doing, because a lot of you guys out there like my paint-along videos, And I love doing those. And so this is a very similar thing, but I can actually have you guys with me live, which is great. And we can have more like conversations kind of thing. So it's pretty cool. Yes, so Dana says, I'm just glad that this Wednesday Addams painting is happening. Thank you. Me too. I've really wanted to do this for a long time. So I finally got on here. Who? Starry-Eyed Seal? Is that Starry-Eyed Seal? I can't read the neon green, so I'm sorry if I'm just going to call you Starry-Eyed Seal. Hopefully that's your name because that's cute. Any costume ideas so far? Oh, yes. I definitely, we need to talk about this because I am I'm kind of torn between a few ideas, actually. I usually know what I'm going to do for Halloween, like, months in advance, but this year I don't know. Last year I did, or I was going to do Fallout 4, and I have the whole costume. I was going to be the Soul Survivor, and I had my vault suit. I was making a gun. I have like a Nuka-Cola. I have the whole thing, and it was awesome. And then I got really sick, and I didn't get to go out or even really do my costume up. So I have that costume that I still could do. So I was thinking, you know, just for time and money's sake, that I might just wear that. But my other ideas were, I had a couple other ideas I was toying with, and my friend Sandra will appreciate this probably, but I was thinking about doing Janet Jackson from the Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson video Scream, and painting myself in black and white, like the video. This was something I really wanted to do, but I feel like I'm not sure if people would get it as much if I don't have a Michael, and my husband is kind of like not very feminine, and he was like, he's like, I don't know if I want to be Michael Jackson, so I can't really blame him. So I feel like it'd be better as a couple's costume. I mean, I could do his makeup and everything, but he's kind of like not really on board with it. But I think it'd be really cool. I found like a shirt that looks just like this like spiky shirt. Like I feel like the costume wouldn't be that hard to come by, and it would be something that someone hasn't really done. I don't know if people would get it though, if it's a little too obscure at this point. I mean, I don't usually care about obscure necessarily. But that's one that I've been toying around with because I think it would be fun. I also considered being the, now I already forgot the name of the character, but I toyed around with being the villain character from the new Thor movie, which is the Cate Blanchett character. But I haven't seen the movie yet, so like I don't know if the movie's even good. I just like her costume. And then I'm not sure if I want to wear like a giant antler headdress, because if we go to a club or something, which we usually do, it would be cumbersome. Yeah, so I'm not sure if that one will work either. Sandra says, I will be your Michael, but from afar. I know, we could, actually, if you were here, we could totally pull it off. I'll be Michael, I don't care, I'll be either one of them. Whenever my sister and I would dress up, I would make my sister reenact, like, Michael Jackson videos with me all the time. I'd be Michael, so I'm fine with being either one of them. I guess I could be Michael, maybe that would make more sense if I was him for the costume, but still, I feel like it's a duo, you know what I mean? The other thing that I'm considering now is being Ciri from Witcher, because my hair looks just like the character basically, and I wouldn't have to wear a wig. But then I feel like that's cheating because I haven't really gotten to play the game. I've only watched my husband Brian play it. But I was like, oh, she's a really cool character. And he could be Geralt. Is that his name? I mean, that'd be kind of cool. That would be a cool costume, but I guess we'd be father and daughter, so that'd be kind of weird, I guess. But I kind of like that idea. I like her costume, and I would like to wear like those. She has these really cool like glowing green eyes. So I'm always into like costumes that have like, contacts, because I just think that's kind of fun. Yeah, so basically, those were my thoughts. I considered, being, the other idea I had was Rachel from Blade Runner, but again, it's like pretty obscure now, and I'm like, I don't know, like, it's not like the most innovative outfit. I don't know. I saw the movie for the first time recently, and I was like, oh, this is really cool and interesting, and obviously it spurred so many other science fiction films and styles, and this sort of like dystopian future, and the new one's coming out, so I'm like, that could be kind of cool. Yeah, so I don't know. What do you guys think out of those? I was gonna post the last one I thought maybe doing is Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy. But then my husband's like, why now you want to be all these characters that have black hair? Why didn't you be these characters when you had black hair? Now you have blonde hair, so why don't you do a character? Yeah, exactly. So Sandra says, I like how your costume ideas are escalating levels of crazy time-consuming commitment. Exactly. And I have no time to do any of them, and it's rapidly going to be upon me. So, yeah, so maybe I'll just wear my Fallout costume from last year that I didn't get to wear. I mean, I have it. It's cool. I just feel like, that was like, I mean, I think it's so popular, but it was like the thing last year, so you know what I mean? It's like slightly dated. I don't know. Coffee and clouds. Be right back. I have to get some breakfast. Breakfast? Where do you live? Coffee and clouds. 6 a.m. here. So you must be on the other side of the pond, I'm guessing. Hey, Ava Nicole Art's here. Hey, Ava Nicole, good to have you. I'm in college as a drawing major, and I just need to actually experiment with materials and styles before I try to brand myself. Always a good idea, and, something that I always recommend to my students and stuff is, like, it's kind of like something that happens naturally. You don't have to wake up one morning and be like, okay, today's the day I'm going to brand myself. You know what I mean? So, like, just keep polishing your craft, keep working towards improving your technique and your design sensibilities, your composition, your sense of color, your color palettes. If you keep, like, leveling those up, so to speak, your style's gonna kind of, like, follow along. So I know there's, like, a lot of stress on that sometimes to be like, okay, what's my brand? Like, how do I, like, find my brand? But, like, honestly, if you kind of just get, like, the foundations under your belt first, then you have a little bit of leeway with your style because you already understand what works in all art, despite style. So, substance before style. I guess that's something like I kind of try to drive into my little students' hearts. Like, just learn the rules before you break them. So, as you said, you're in college, so you'll have to draw a bunch of stuff that you don't care about, and, like, lots of still lifes and naked people, and you're like, what's the point of all this? But it will become clear one day, because honestly, I had a lot of teachers, Ashley, if you're still here, we were just talking about, we had a class together, I think our, like, second or third year, we had an illustration class, and our, instructor was she was French, she was from France, and she was very uptight about certain things. She was very anti-anime, which scared me, because I was very into anime, and my style was, my personal style was a lot more anime, then. And so I tried to kind of, like, break my habits, but a lot of my illustration assignments still looked anime-like. And she's like, no, anime. Yes, Chantal. Thank you, Ashley. She's still here. Yeah, she was a great teacher, and I learned a lot in that class. I liked her. I didn't dislike her. But she scared me sometimes when she was like, we don't want that style. None of that Japanimation or whatever. So, I mean, they want you to kind of, like, learn the right way, and then you can go back and do it your own way anyways. And it does work. It does work. I was very afraid and fearful of that when I was in school, because I kind of kept being told no a lot. I kept being told, like, this isn't marketable. This isn't gonna fit into editorial illustration. You know, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I was like, all of this feels like I'm trying to hammer a square peg in a round hole. And it's like, you think art school would be, oh, la la la, do whatever you want, but it's really not the case. There's a lot of structure involved. I remember, like, those of you who were in art school and or went to art school probably relate to this, and it's just like, people would always say, oh my gosh, you go to art school, that must be so fun. And it's like, you know, it's really not that fun. It's really, like, kind of painful. I struggled a lot. I don't know. I questioned why I was there many times, and I was kind of like, is this really the right fit for me? Because I feel like I'm just doing everything wrong all the time. So, yes. Ava Nicole says, for my Halloween costume, I'm trying to decide between Shigo from KP. I went as Kim Possible? Is that what that is? I don't know. I'm not sure who Shigo is. I've only seen maybe a couple episodes of that show. Or Bubbles in Powerpuff Girls. I also want to be Tina from Bob's Burgers. That'd be really hilarious. I vote for Bubbles, though, because she's my favorite Powerpuff Girl, and I think that would be really, really cute. Are you gonna do, like... Because there's, like, two versions when you want to do a cartoon character like that. Do you make, like, a big cardboard head, or do you just wear, like, an outfit like you're the, like, real person version? Does that make sense? Creatures from Starlight's going to be Peter Pan, and that's going to be adorable. Are you going to do, like, your own kind of, like, spin on it? Because I know you like make really cool costumes, and you always have, like, a cool interpretive take on it. So that'd be cute. Are you going to be, like, the Julie Andrews Peter Pan? Okay, Coughing Clouds. That's... Coughing Cloud says, that's so true. I've suspected that art school was the start of my anxiety. I get so badly stressed by my time there. Me too. I thought there was something wrong with me because I was having these, like, meltdowns, and I was like, uh-oh, I'm losing my mind. And then I just realized that it was anxiety and panic attacks. And I kind of had definitely had stress and anxiety, like, in high school, but I'm not sure if I had, like, panic attacks. I just had this thing, like, every day where I'm like, today's the day I'm going to throw up. Today's the day I'm going to throw up in class. It's happening. And everyone will laugh at me, and they'll call me Barf Girl, and it'll ruin everything. So every morning of high school, like, I had nausea, and I didn't know why. It was mostly just because I had, like, anxiety about what was going to happen that day. And I never did throw up, so that was great. But I was sure that was, like, my worst fear. I'm not sure why. I guess you call it emetophobic. I'm someone who's, like, really, really, I have a phobia of throwing up. I don't even, like, talk about it right now. So that's, like, a thing for me anyway. So I had, like, irrational fear about throwing up at school. Random fact. Sorry. What were we talking about? Okay, yeah. So in art school, then I started having these, I now know were panic attacks, but I didn't know what they were at the time. I felt like I was going to faint in class. I would, like, be sitting on a stool, because we had, like, these tall stools that we'd sit on sometimes at, like, an easel. And I'm like, oh my god, like, the room is spinning around, and I feel like I'm outside my body, and I gotta run away right now. And so my teacher would leave, and I'd run away, and then I'd go home and cry. And I'm like, okay, what's happening to me? But yeah, and then when I kind of started, like, learning about doing some soul searching and finding out more about what stress and anxiety is, and, like, how, like, that's normal, and, like identifying it was a huge thing for me. And once I kind of was like, oh my god, that's all it is, like, oh, that's not so bad. So I definitely kind of started to learn how to deal with it because of how stressful school was for me sometimes. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have no career, and I'm gonna, like, end up drawing pet portraits down by the pier or something, which, you know, isn't so bad if you enjoy that sort of thing. So Creatures from Starlight, I'm gonna make Peter Pan more fairy-ish. It's gonna be fun. I'm dyeing my hair red in 2 weeks for it. Oh, cute. I can't wait to see pictures. Yes, so please share that. I love that idea. I hope you're going to be nice and glittery with fairy dust on. Ava Nicole says, also, Leilani, I absolutely fell in love with the Song of the Sea after you made your piece, which I have a big print of. Oh, and I bought the movie and recently got the concept art book. Oh, crap. I have to get that concept art book. I forgot that was on my Christmas wish list last year and nobody got it for me. Damn it. Yeah, I want that too. Do you have any recommendations for cute animated movies? First of all, I'm so happy that you liked that movie. One moment. My mouth gets dry from talking. I loved Song of the Sea. It was just like, oh my god, I loved it. If you guys haven't seen it, please see it. It's like a painting that moves. It's beautiful. It's like watercolor-ish animation, which I really haven't seen much of. Plus, it's like my favorite animals and folklore. I mean, it's everything I love. I was very obsessed with seals. I still am. And so the whole Selkie myth is just something that's always like enamored or just enthralled me. So that movie really spoke to me and I just loved the animation style. And I did do a piece called Selkie that was, woo, my ink got a little bit crazy. See, this is what happens when you push down too hard on here. Hold on. Let me fix. Got a little wild there for a second. It's all good. See, like I was saying, you can kind of, if you're quick about it, you can take a Q-tip and just dab that paint off. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just kind of like a, you know, like a paint pen. So if you push down on the nib too hard, it's going to just pool out. And that's what I did because I got a little too excited. I don't know my own strength. I hulked out for a minute. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Song of the Sea. So, love Song of the Sea. I want to get the concept art book. A beautiful little story. I think I cried at it too. It was just like really sweet. I don't know. So, anything else like that? Cute animated. I feel like I saw something recently, but now I can't think of it. I mean, I always like the Miyazaki ones, of course. There's quite a few I haven't seen. Oh, I would recommend Unico to you if you haven't seen that. That's my favorite. It's, of course, it's a little dated now because it's from like 1981, I think. It's my favorite, probably, I mean, my favorite like anime of that type. It's a kids movie, but it was made by Sanrio, and it's so cute. I love it, and I recently found out that it has a sequel. And I didn't even know it had a sequel, so that was very exciting. So that's The Fantastic Adventures of Unico, and then there's Unico and the Island of Magic. So you can get the duo DVD on Amazon for like, I don't know, $8 or something. It's worth it. I love it. I love it so much that I collect everything Unico. And my husband got me something very, very special for my birthday. He won't let me open it yet, but it is a felt sculpture made by an amazing artist, and she goes by the handle Plush Play, and she sculpted a little Unico sculpture that's on a little swing, and I'm gonna hang it in my studio, and I can't wait. It's in the box, and I'm like, I can't wait to take it out. So that's one of my favorites. Yeah, okay. Oh, and because Mary Angela Tan is the artist's name, Plush Play, and I was talking to her via email, and she's so sweet, and I think we have a lot of similarities because we're gushing about Unico and stuff, and she's like, have you seen The Ringing Bell? And I was like, no, I haven't. So I bought The Ringing Bell, and I'm gonna watch that one next. It's about like a little baby sheep. It came out around the same time. She's like, what's weird about it though is she's like, it's weirdly adult. Like it's for, it's like very dark and like kind of like messed up. So I was like, okay, now I gotta know what that is. Some like cute little animal movie that's dark and twisted. So, I'm gonna watch that and I'll report back. I think, Ava Nicole said, I've been meaning to watch The Secret of Kells, or Kells. It's Kells. Yeah. The Secret of Kells. God, you know what? Yeah, I saw that when I was like really, really little, and I don't remember it, and I think I loved it, and that's what I need to pick up too. It's definitely in the same realm as The Ringing Bell and Unico. I think it's about the same age. There's another one called Something in Fire Child. Does anybody know about this one? Because the artist I was talking to also recommended this one, and I want to get it. I want to get it too. If anybody knows what it is, I know it's something in Fire Child. It's like water fairy, waters. It's like a water goddess and like a fire fairy or something. I don't know. I actually don't know really what it is, but I like vaguely remember it from being a kid. Like maybe it was at Blockbuster. If anybody knows what that one is, you'll win a prize for today, because that's the other one I want to get because she recommended that. So some old animations for you guys to check out. Coffee and Clouds asks, Leilani, have you ever seriously considered pursuing a different career that's not art? Yes. Exotic dancing. What? I'm just kidding. But no, I did take pole dance lessons and I very much enjoyed it. I'd probably make more money. Well, maybe not anymore. Maybe 10 years ago I would have. Now I'd be like that old stripper. Okay, anyways, sorry. Coffee and Clouds, like maybe there was a time when you were super discouraged about how difficult and unpredictable art career is, aka me right now. That doesn't really get that much better. Just tell you that. It always remains difficult and unpredictable, but also super rewarding, I'll say. Yes, I did. I did consider, so yes, I had several moments in art school where I considered dropping out, and my mom and I had one serious conversation about it, and she's like, okay, I mean, she's like, I back you up whatever you want to do, so, I mean, choice is yours and yours alone. And I considered switching to a state school and studying English and teaching English, maybe like high school level. I liked English. I really liked writing, and I liked reading and writing. So I definitely liked fiction writing, but I wasn't really sure if that was a career. I feel like writing is perhaps even harder than being an artist. It's really tough. But I loved writing. So I felt like, if I'm not going to do this, maybe I'll just study English. So that was a thought that I had. But now I don't really see any reason why I can't write also if I want to, if I ever find time to do so. But that was kind of what I thought. And I thought, well, I think I would like teaching. I do like teaching, and oddly enough, I do teach now, and I really enjoy it. And I may even expand into that further, because I really do like it. I'd like to offer more types of classes. I just have to get to a place where I'm not committed to so many shows. It's so hard, right? Because I'm like, okay, I really wanted to do the class stuff, but now my art stuff is kind of taking off for me, which is great. So I'm getting a lot of invitations for work, for shows and everything. And it's hard for me to like do my class stuff. So I don't know. I just have to keep adapting, I guess. Ava Nicole, Sea Prince and Fire Child. That's it. Thank you so much. You win the prize of the day. Yes. It's okay. You still get credit because you had to look it up for me because I didn't have time. So yeah, has anybody seen that? Sea Prince and Fire Child? Bartender. It's like the Sahara Desert over here. My drink is empty. Oh God, it's already 4 o'clock. All right, hurry, faster, faster, must be faster. All right, who's that? Glitter Noob? Is that you? I can't. It's another one of you like fluorescent green names. I can't read these names. Glitter Noob. You're a wonderful teacher. I love your classes. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. Bye, creatures from Starlight. See you next time. Have a good class. I missed you this weekend. I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm going to check back with you to see how your tarot project's going. Yes. Okay. Have fun, girl. See you next time. Glitter Noob. Thank you. It is Glitter Noob. Moob? No. Glitter Noob. Glitter Noob. I'm sorry. I'm a Glitter Noob. I'm special. It's weird. I don't know why. It's like that lime neon green. It's like kryptonite for my eyes. Okay. Come on, pen, don't fail me now. We've got a lot of lines still to make. Oh my god. Well, anyways, it's fun hanging out with you guys because I finally watched every single Lifetime movie that comes with my Lifetime movie subscription. So I'm like, well, what am I going to watch now? Damn it. So I figured I'd live stream. Okay. Oh. Okay, who's that? That's someone else. JK Sarah? Is that your name? Wait, okay, I'm going to call you JK Sarah because I can't read your name either. Stop being green names. Change your colors. JK Sarah says, I watched a little bit of on YouTube. It's really cute. You mean, what was it again? I forgot. Sea Prince and Firechild? Yeah. Okay. Oh, hello. Narya07. What's it like having a husband who is also an artist? A pain. A huge pain. I'm plotting how I'm going to get rid of him. Just kidding. No, just kidding. I'm an artist and I have been married for 8 years to an IT guy. I hope you mean IT and not it guy, like he's a clown, because, you know, I'm not exactly sure if that's what you mean. Maybe he is it, and that would be weird. Do you ever find it difficult or competitive, or does it help to have someone who is also creative? Great question. The answer is both. I would say that, like, it's 80% awesome. It's 80% supportive. It is so nice to have somebody who can give you real feedback, and like those times where I'm like, I am stuck right now and I don't know what to do with this piece, and he really has good insight. So it's great. And it's 20% damn it, he's better than me, you know? So that can be hard sometimes. And I shouldn't say that. And he's like, I'm not better than you. It's just different. But he's just like, I feel like he's just really good at what he does. And he's kind of one of those people who, like, and this isn't like a bad thing, but he was always kind of ahead, I think, in school. Like, he went to a school that was a high school, middle school that was for arts and performing arts. So he kind of had an edge there. He excelled there. Then he was ahead when he went to art school. And he was just kind of exceptional. I mean, he is. And I am proud and also somewhat envious of it sometimes. And I feel like I struggled a lot. My art program was very limited in high school. I felt like when I got to art school, I was actually behind a lot of people. So I really had kind of a hard time coming into my own and catching up technically. So sometimes I'm envious of that it seems like it comes very easy to him, which of course it doesn't. You know, he has his own struggles. It's harder for me to see because I'm like, everything you do looks perfect and beautiful to me. And he's a digital painter. I mean, he was trained traditionally and does beautiful traditional work when he wants to. Primarily sculpting. That's what he initially wanted to be, a fine art, like sculpture or like design major. But then he moved into concept art and illustration, so that's what he does, and he works in film and games, and it's really exciting. He gets to do some incredible projects, and I've gotten huge perks from that. We've gotten to go to some pretty amazing parties and things of that nature, which some of it I can't talk about, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, but for the most part, it's a positive. And like I said at the beginning of this little paint along here, it's funny that he made like kind of an offhanded comment about this particular piece when it was just in the comp stage, and it like kind of threw off my confidence because I do respect his opinion, and I'm like, he knows better than I do, probably, you know. So sometimes it can make me second guess myself as well. But for the most part, I'm very, very lucky. I have had relationships with people who were not creatives, and it has its pros and cons as well. Like my last relationship, he was like, "It looks good. It looks good. I don't know what else you want me to say," you know. And it's like, do you like it or not? I mean, say something more critical. And he's like, you know. So it's like he liked everything, but then it wasn't always like. You know, I couldn't really bounce off ideas, which is great to have another artist to do that. And he has saved me from many, many meltdowns. Like, he's like, hey, no, he's like, don't freak out. All you have to do is change that hand a little bit, like tweak that finger. And I'm like, that's it. I could not even see that. So it's awesome. But honestly, Narya, if your husband is not creative, now there's such a great community of us artists online that you can get feedback from others pretty quickly and easily. There's great groups, there's classes, there's all kinds of online communities that you can get that from. So you don't necessarily have to get it from a partner. Hello, hi Lexi, welcome. Lexi says, hi Leilani, I'm loving your rendition of Wednesday Addams. Well, thank you very much. That means a lot to me because I know this is a very big character for a lot of people. So I hope you guys like her. Okay, so that looks, well, that looks weird there. That's okay. I'll fix that later. JK Sarah says, it reminds me of Fantasia. Oh, are you talking about that movie we're talking about earlier? The Sea Prince? I don't know. Speaking of that, actually, Fantasia was a piece that I've always wanted to do for Disney. And I think I did a couple sketches and they didn't make it off the editing room floor, if you will. But that was one I wanted to revisit because I love the scene with the Centaurettes. I love that scene. It's so pretty, and I would love to do my own rendition of that. Maybe someday. That's on my back burner. Right now, I'm going to bounce this off you guys. I can't talk too much about it because this just hasn't happened yet. But, so Disney's considering offering me Alice or Mulan, or possibly both. So if you guys are excited about that, I am. I think that Alice and or Mulan would be a cool next piece for me to do. I love Mulan. That might be my one of my favorites for sure. Possibly my favorite Disney female character. I love Mulan. And Alice, so 2018 is going to be the 60th anniversary of Disney's Alice in Wonderland. So it's going to be a big Alice celebration, and I really would love to get in on that with my own version of Alice. Since Alice has been a really big character in a lot of my work, I think it would be a great honor and privilege to do a Disney licensed Alice in Wonderland piece. So yeah, so wish me luck on that. Oh, cool. You guys are, so everybody's chiming in and saying Mulan. So I'm really glad that you guys would be excited about Mulan. So I think I'm going to definitely try to do one. Ava Nicole says, Leilani, would you ever want to do a Megara from Hercules or Yzma from Emperor's New Groove piece for Disney? Maybe. But the thing is, like, they have final say. So the thing is, like, they're not, like, it's a very, they might let me do Meg from Hercules, but there's not a real good chance that they'll let me do Yzma because, like, the movie's like kind of old. I don't know if it's one that, like, I like that movie a lot. I like that character, but they tend not to do anything that's too obscure. I feel like maybe Emperor's New Groove is falling into a little bit of an obscure realm. I mean, obviously some of them hold up, like, or just remain popular forever, like Little Mermaid, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, like the classics, just they're like still popular. But like some of the ones like that, wasn't there like an Atlantis? Was that Disney? It was like, remember Disney, like Atlantis? So like some of those just kind of fell by the wayside, and they don't tend to like bring those back as much. So they have a lot of control over it. I've also asked about doing Nightmare Before Christmas, and they got real, like, they're like, no, we can't, we're not doing that right now. And I think they share a copyright with that one with like Tim Burton and or Touchstone or whatever, so that one's problematic. I also ran into issues with a Jessica Rabbit. I attempted a Jessica Rabbit. They offered me the character. They said, would you like to do Jessica Rabbit? And again, that one didn't get off the editing floor. They had a lot of issues with my sketches, and it was ridiculous because honestly I stuck very close to the character model, and they were just like toned down the sexiness, and I'm like, that's what she looks like. She's just drawn that way, you know. I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way. So I'm like, I don't understand why you're critiquing me when that's your own character, but whatever. So that one never happened. So they're pretty tough. They're very strict on what I can do and can't do, and so yeah, yes. So Naria says Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Yeah, it was pretty. I don't remember much about it though. I remember not really finding it that memorable. So Lexi says, but Emperor's New Groove is popular in the memes. Yeah, it is. This is true. I do love it. That one is so funny. Like I love Crunk. I love that character. I love David Spade as a what's his name? What's the llama's name? Now I'm blanking. But it's great. It's a great movie. But like I said, Wonderground doesn't. I don't think I've seen anything there from. I don't think I've seen a piece inspired by Emperor's New Groove. I mean, the bottom line, guys, obviously, is profitability and whether or not a piece will sell. Kuzco, thank you, Lexi. If it's going to sell and the reproductions are going to sell, and that's important to me, is like I have to sell an original painting. So a collector that's looking for a, you know, possibly $3,000 painting of Yzma, that might be pretty niche. You know what I mean? That might be pretty hard to find. I mean, people collect the big characters like Tinkerbell and Ariel and Maleficent and stuff like that. So I have to kind of keep that in mind. Like my Princess Leia one has done really, really well, and that one sold quickly. Most of my pieces have sold quickly, which is very flattering. So it's important for me to keep in mind something that's going to do well as prints, that's going to sell as a painting, because the other issue that I can run into is, so I have a contract with Disney that says if my original Disney painting doesn't sell with them within like 2 years or something, I forget what the cutoff is, I have to keep it forever and never sell it. So I have to be a little bit careful about what I choose and make sure that there's an audience, a collector base for that, because I don't want to end up with a painting I've spent months on that I can never sell. And so something to keep in mind there. Dana says, I love Mulan. I have a shirt with Megan Lara's art rendition of Mulan. Oh, really? I should look that up. She does several Disney princesses, superheroes, Zelda, very Muka inspired. But are they officially licensed? Just saying. She better watch out for the copyright mouse if they're not. Yeah, actually, so someone's asked me that before. It's like, well, why don't you just do all the ones you want anyway, whatever. And I'm like, I can't, because obviously Disney watches what I do now. So I have to be careful about I can't do any Disney licenses without their permission, because I certainly wouldn't want to sever my relationship with them. So I do have to tread lightly on that. Okay. Oh, Dana says, LJ, I think you'll be excited about this. First, I got my art featured for sale in a local cafe. Oh, amazing! Oh my gosh, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you. Dana's one of my students, so I take personal credit for her success. Secondly, I'm surprising my 10-year-old daughter with the Zelda Symphony tickets for her birthday. Oh my god, I went to this. The Symphony of the Goddess, which is the Zelda Symphony. Girl, you're gonna cry. My sister and I went, and we cried like two babies. It was ridiculous. So you're gonna love it. Does your daughter play? Have you gotten her into, like, have her play the old games or anything? Because I think we established, Dana, that we're like about the same age, so like we kind of know. Because, oh my god, when they played, I mean, I'm not super familiar with some of the newer Zelda games. They play a little bit of that, but they play a big majority of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and like, yeah, it's so nostalgic. It was awesome. Yeah, I went to the San Francisco Symphony to see that, and I've never been to the Symphony, so that was my first experience, and it was amazing. So I recommend, and it's getting people back to like going to the Symphony, which I think is really cool. Like, I love, like, I took my husband Brian for his birthday. I took him to, they did Raiders of the Lost Ark at the Symphony. So they showed the film, and then the Symphony played the score, which was really cool. It was really cool, and man, yeah, it was exciting. So he loved that. And it's just exciting because it's getting people to go again, and they were like sold out. So I'm glad that they've come up with some kind of new and innovative ways to get young people back to the symphony. Okay. Okay, I'm like a paint sniper. I have to hold my breath when I make a straight line. Coffee and Clouds. Oh my gosh, I would love to see you interpret Rapunzel from Tangled. Yeah, you know what? I forgot about that. That's one that they have offered me. They offered me Rapunzel a couple years ago, and I ended up doing a different one. But I'm a terrible, terrible person, and I have not seen Tangled yet. So I need to see Tangled, and then I will do it. Because I know I'm going to love that one. I know I am. I just don't know why. I'm going to watch it this week, okay? Tangled's happening this week. But thank you for saying that, because that's one that I don't know why I'm pointing my ruler at your face. But that's one that I've wanted to do. Lexi says, did they say you couldn't gift it or give it away? You know what? I'm not sure. That's a good question. Oh, and Lexi means my Disney painting. Because I have considered, like, if I didn't sell it, that I would donate it to, like, a children's hospital or something, and then I can take a write-off as a charitable donation, so that would help me on my taxes, and it also would be something cool that I could do, you know. So actually, I bet they would. I will check on that, because that would definitely make it, you know, more, I'd be glad that someone would be able to enjoy it, basically. Ava Nicole says, dang, that's kind of extreme for you to have a deadline on selling the original. It is. It kind of comes with the package, though, and they get a lot of new artwork, so they've got to rotate new artwork in, and, you know, they need the wall space, so if it's not selling, it's got to go. So it's okay, though. So far, I've been super lucky. I've sold all my pieces. So, so far so good. But yeah, it is something that I have to keep in mind when I'm doing a new piece for them, because I obviously want to find a buyer, and I want them to have me back, and I have to do something that's profitable for them. You know, it all comes down to numbers sometimes. So, but it's okay. It's, you know, it's part of the business, and it's not like any of them are like not fun to do. I mean, for the most part, there's a lot of great Disney characters for me to choose from, so I'm always very excited for any opportunity to do a new one. So yeah, so I'm excited about this next one, which will probably be Mulan and or Alice. We'll see how far I get. Dana says, I'm making my daughter a Legend of Zelda treasure box with sound and the tickets in them. She loves all the Zelda games, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, now Breath of the Wild. I set my husband's ringtone as Zelda's lullaby. We are dorks. Oh my god, no, you guys, you're so cute. Oh, I'm out of water. Oh, that's so cute. I love that. My husband and I are both Zelda geeks too. How do you like Breath of the Wild? Because I have to get the new Wii for that, so I don't know yet. Ashley says, yes, Tangled is one of the best. You need to watch it as soon as possible. I will. I don't know what happened. I don't know how I didn't see it, because I always see all the Disney releases. I'm not sure how I missed that one, actually. What year did that come out? Maybe I'll try to figure out what the heck I was doing. Why I missed it. Is there any votes for Frozen? Because I've had a few people, my little cousins, I guess, who are biased, they were like, well, Frozen 2 is coming out, so you should do Frozen. But I'm like, oh, I don't know, there's so much Frozen. I'm like, although I do like the character designs, I would love to kind of riff off some of Brittany Lee's concept design and do something. She has like a great like graphic style. She did a lot of the designs for Frozen, so it'd be cool to kind of borrow from that. I don't know. Lexi says, I've always wondered if your Ophelia painting has sold yet. It was the first painting video I've seen of yours, and it's my dream to own the original one day. It's definitely one of my favorites of all time. Oh, well, thank you, Lexi. Yes, Ophelia has been sold. I actually don't have any originals in stock, which is a great thing for an artist, right? The only originals that are still available are my Barbie works that are still at Gallery 1988. If you guys haven't seen these, I'm super happy with how these turned out. These are a couple of my favorites. This one, which is called Defender of the Dream House, and this one, which is called Totally Hair Barbie, if you guys can see these, okay? These originals are still available at gallery1988.com, and I still have limited edition prints of these. These are a couple of my test prints. I don't think my camera does them justice because they're super bright and saturated, and you can still get them. They're signed, numbered edition, limited edition of only 50 each. So yeah, so you can get those if you haven't gotten them yet. And yeah, so other than that, all my originals have a home, except for this one that I'm working on, which will be up in the auction, hopefully. If I don't make the auction cutoff, I'll just sell it online in my store on a first come, first served basis. And then I'm also finishing my, this is my Titania piece, which is inspired by A Midsummer Night's Dream, which I'm really enjoying painting this one. I need to get her finished because I'm finishing her for my Patreon subscribers. This is going to be their print subscription this month. So they're going to get a print of this piece and maybe a little extra surprise too. So if you guys are on my Patreon, yes, you'll get that in the mail. Yeah, anyway, so Ophelia, though, she's one of my favorites as well. I still have, so I don't have the original anymore, Lexi, but I do have the canvas reproductions, and I think one is still available. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I've sold number 1 yet. So if you're interested, let me know. You can decide what size you want, and I'll hand embellish that in acrylic paint for you and everything. I love that piece. So she was really weird, though. I should tell you guys the story. She was kind of like a cursed painting. This was the first time I'd ever had this happen, but it was so odd. She must have had, like, I don't know. I had her for several years. Somewhere between 6 and 10 potential collectors that just dropped out on her. I'd never had that before. And some of them even made like an additional, like they put a deposit down and they're like, I really want this painting. And then they either just fell off the face of the earth or they're like, something happened, I can't buy it anymore. So she ironically got left at the altar over and over and over. And I was just starting to laugh because I'm like, is this the curse of Hamlet, right? I mean, because that's what Ophelia is rejected by Hamlet, if you're not familiar with it. She wants to marry Hamlet, and he doesn't even know she's alive because he's too busy, whatever, talking to skulls. And so she drowns herself in the river, and they say that she looks like adorned, something about, she looks like she's in a wedding because she has like flowers around her head. And Waterhouse has a couple of really gorgeous paintings of Ophelia, like she's like the drowned bride. So it was just weird. I was starting to wonder if there was something weird about that painting because it just never seemed to get purchased. And it's been a really good selling print, and a lot of people are like, I love this piece. It's been a very popular painting, and I just couldn't find an owner for the original. So weird, right? Okay, I'm gonna go get a little bit more water, and I'll hang with you guys for a little while longer, and then I'm probably gonna have to like hunker down and focus. But thank you guys so much for joining me. You can post a couple more questions for me, and I'll answer those before I get skedaddled. Okay, I'll be right back. So, for those of you guys who are watching this video after the fact, let me know if it worked for you. I hopefully was trying to kind of read the chat aloud so that you can still enjoy this while you're working, and so that it feels like a paint-along. Because I know I had a couple of you guys say it was a little bit of a disconnect from my usual structure. So I'm kind of experimenting with this because I know a lot of my followers aren't able to log on to Twitch for whatever reason because of time zones and this and that or whatever. So I'm hoping that they can still watch these streams and get some entertainment value out of them. So if you're watching this on YouTube, let me know what you think and how I can improve it to make it better for you guys. Okay, wow. Yeah, Tangled. So Strawberry, welcome Strawberry, says that Tangled came out in 2010. Wow, I didn't know that it was actually that old now. Ava Nicole says, I planned my entire art print wall around Selkie. Oh, really? Oh, that's so cute. I would love to see a picture of your arrangement once you're finished. Starry-eyed Seal. It says, Ava Nicole, dude, I love Selkies. I do too. Have you guys seen The Secret of Roan Inish? It was a film I saw when I was a kid. I actually had, I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was. Somebody here on my YouTube reminded me of it because I didn't remember the title of the movie. I just, I remembered what happened in it. It was a live action film about Selkies, and it was awesome. It was like done in like a kind of like a modern fairy tale, a little bit of kind of like the water horse kind of feel to it. I loved it, and I didn't know what the title was, and someone found it for me, so now I want to rewatch it as an... Was that you? Are you kidding? Narya? That was you? Oh my god, that's so weird. I know, it's so weird. Ah, awesome, thank you. That's so cool. Well, what do you know? That's so funny. I didn't match up your name. I didn't remember. Do you have a different YouTube name? Well, anyway, so you've already seen it, so you... well, that's great. I love that that happened. Thank you so much for that, because I did not realize... I just remembered parts of the film, but I couldn't remember what it was called or how to really look for it. Oh, that's so cute. We must have watched it about the same time then. Because it was like from the 90s, I think. Oh, well, that's great. Oh, yeah. So, okay, you were Jane W. on YouTube. Oh, I love that. Well, I'm so glad you're here. That's just so random, right? Okay, Midnight Doll, I'm back at school with time to spare before class. Are you watching this on your phone? That's cool. I'm glad to know it works. Lexi says, I'm definitely planning on buying a reproduction when my refund comes in. I need that piece in my life and on my wall. Oh, well, let's make that happen. I would be honored to have her on your wall. Strawberry says, have you watched the movie Fish Tank? Did you like it? Okay. Well, I think I know of a movie called that. Is that the one with, because I'm not sure if we're talking about the same movie. I saw a movie called Fish Tank with, that was like set in England, and it was about like a young girl that liked hip hop dancing, and Michael Fassbender was in it, who's my fictional husband. Are we talking about that movie? Because I did see that. If you're talking about a different Fish Tank movie, you might need to clarify. So, Midnight Doll, what Disney movies have you seen? What have you seen? Oh, well, like, I mean, it would take, the list of which ones I haven't seen would be shorter. Tangled is one of them. I don't know. I've seen I think almost all of them. I did not see, Princess and the Frog. I heard that was great, actually. I don't know what... There was another one of those things, like, I didn't make it to the theater, so I didn't see it. But I would like to. Yeah, I try to keep up on my Disney movies, though. I don't feel like I ever outgrow them. I was talking to... I have a couple of little cousins, and, little. I mean, one of them is 17, and one of them is, 11. And they were super funny. I was like, what's your favorite Disney movie? Because they came to see me at Wonderground Gallery. And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, neither of them could really name one. I was like, you don't have a favorite Disney princess or something? And she's like, I don't really remember any of them. And I'm like, what is happening to our youth? I swear to God, it's too weird. Oh, gosh. Okay. Well. Oh, really? Midnight Doll says, Princess and the Frog is definitely my favorite next to Mulan and Pocahontas. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to see that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how I missed it, actually. It looked like it had good songs in it. I'm always a sucker for good songs. You know, Pocahontas, that's an interesting one that you say that's your favorite, because I feel like Pocahontas doesn't get that much love sometimes. I feel like I would like that one more now. I don't know. When I was little, I was like, eh. I don't know. Because it's actually like a little bit mature, I feel like, in a way. I don't know. It's got some more like grown-up themes in it compared to, you know, something like Little Mermaid or something. Oh, really? Okay, so Coffee and Cloud says Princess and the Frog definitely has great songs. Okay. Yeah, and Ashley says it was the last 2D animated film they did. Yes, I know. Yeah, so I definitely should see that because I still kind of have a love for that. Even Nicole, it's funny, the older I get and more environmental I become, the more I fall in love with Pocahontas. Very interesting. I mean, Pocahontas is interesting because she was a real person. And it's not really like a fairy tale. And it's like the fairy tale version is so not how it was. It wasn't even actually, John Smith was not even the man that she was involved with. It was another guy called, who's, somebody know this? Here, history lesson. It was John something else. There was a John Smith, but she wasn't like involved with him in any way. And I believe, if I'm getting my history right, because it's been a long time, I think I learned about this in high school or college. What the heck? Somebody's going to fill me in, I know. John Rolfe. Thank you. Oh, this is awesome. You guys are on top of it. He like started like the tobacco industry or something like that. I feel like he had something to, I'm getting this all butchered, but I think that he had something to do with the tobacco industry. So obviously Disney and like fairy tales didn't want to really be like, oh, like she was involved with like the tobacco king who like started that entire business and whatnot, slave labor, things like that. So I don't know. And I don't know if they were actually ever married or whatever. I do believe she went back to England where she died of like smallpox or something. So it was actually not like that great of a story. Ava Nicole says they romanticize it so much when it's actually, it was awful, but the film is beautiful. Yeah, exactly, right? So, I mean, if you accept it as like completely fictional, I mean, it's okay, you know, but if you try to think about the historical significance of it, it's definitely flawed. But, you know, whatever. It's still a really pretty film, and I take much inspiration, actually, if you're looking for design shapes and how to draw hair, definitely recommend taking a look at Pocahontas. You can pause that film at any moment, and her hair is always just this gorgeous, gorgeous shape, and like simplified to just like a few chunks of hair, which is just always this gorgeous, like organic curves. So that's super cool. Anyways, I think we about covered it today, guys, and thanks for hanging with me while I made all these lines. I'm sure that was super fascinating for you, but at least we had a good art chat today, and I got to chat with you guys about some stuff. So I am, at this point, I'm going to put the pedal to the metal and try to start finishing this piece a little faster, because I would like to have it ready for the auction. If you're interested in the piece, please stay tuned. You can send me a message or something. Otherwise, it will be on the auction page at facebook.com/badappleartistcollective. I'm hoping I'm going to have it ready in time. It's already late. Today's the first day of the auction. So if I don't make it by the auction, then I'll send out a little announcement that the original is available. I might get a frame for it. We'll see. If I do finish it, it will be available in the auction, and you'll have to bid on it. So yeah, so that's the news for now. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It was awesome to have you and chat with you. If you guys don't follow me on Twitch yet, then follow me over there. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll get an email when I'm streaming live. If you're not yet a pledger, if you're not yet a patron on my Patreon, you can pledge to my Patreon at patreon.com/LeilaniJoy, where I do long demo videos in real time. I have print subscriptions, and I have coloring contests. So if you guys are not in on my coloring contest, I'd love to have you. I have a coloring contest ending at the end of September, and I'm having you guys color the line art of my beautiful Titania Fairy Queen, and I'm going to be giving away awesome prizes. So join me over there. I've got exclusive content. And yeah, maybe I might do, if those of you who do support my Patreon, I might do a Patreon only Twitch stream. So that'd be kind of cool. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm just I'm throwing out seeds everywhere to just see what starts growing. Okay, so anyway, thank you for joining me. See you guys next time. Bye. Keep creating.